Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 23 of Builders Talk. And today, or I guess over the last few episodes, I've been discussing the secure phase of growing your business and in the, the home building businesses. A bit tongue-tied today. Let's start again. So the last few episodes I've been discussing the secure phase of business growth for home builders businesses. And within the phase, I've discovered 3 distinct areas that need to be tackled within your business. When you're building up your business, you may have been in a crazy, out of control sort of stage. You would typically been doing none of what I've been talking about. When you're sort of growing your business, you're just trying to get money into your bank account. So the 3 things that you need to do, once you've, done that bit, you've grown, you've got all this, you've hopefully got money in your bank account, but you've started to realize that things are just out of control and you're not really, clients are complaining, your staff are worn out, you're at your wit's end. So what you need to do is tighten up the efficiency of your business. You also need to secure the right systems and processes, and you need to nail down what your business can give you. So I'm going to go through each of these areas over the next few shows and highlight what needs to be done in your business. So tightening up the efficiency of your business is important at this securing phase of growth. You come from a place, as I said, from astronomical growth. You're signing up any client that'll give you money. You're probably bending over backwards for your clients and finding that you can't keep them happy. And it just doesn't seem to stop. The bills to pay, the quotes to do, the orders to do, everything in that growth stage just builds up to where you probably get to a point where you feel like you're breaking and you need to slow down and secure your business at where it is to keep going, really. And so I know when I had built up my custom home building business, I was looking, from the outside at other builders that seemed to be succeeding, and I wanted to get to where they were. They seemed to be getting a lot of work. They seemed to be driving around in fancier cars than my Great Wall Ute. They seemed to be putting on supervisors for nearly every single job site, and they had several admin staff. And I was still trying to do it all myself. And my husband was still trying to do it all himself on the job site. And we just couldn't see how we could afford all of that. The numbers just weren't stacking up. So the prevailing wisdom was, in order to get your business to the next level, you needed to add more people. So if you wanted to get off the tools, you just put on a supervisor and you'll get all your time back. Time to work on the business, time in the office, time to make more money. But I discovered when I spoke to these others, they were only really portraying the success. And that wasn't really necessarily where they were in their business. They were paddling above the water like a duck. They looked good above the water, but they certainly didn't look good under the water. And I was even speaking to one builder who told me that every time that he tried to build a house like ours, so we do a lot of houses on sloping blocks. So a lot of builders aren't, set up to do sloping block houses. And he said he was losing money. So he was trying to do what we were doing, but he just couldn't work out, or he wasn't pricing properly for those type of builds, and he kept losing money. So what I did, and what my program Build Up to Nail Down teaches, is by tightening up the efficiency of your business, reducing your overheads, and making your business an asset to the clients that want to build with you, as opposed to a commodity. It will bring in more profits, reduce your stress levels, and basically save your business money. Part of tightening up your business has to do with defining your ideal client that you want to focus on. Having, similar to a mission statement, but a statement that reflects why your business is better than your competitor. What makes you different? What would make someone want to choose you over another builder? What would make someone pay more for your homes than a competing builder? What do you maybe see in other businesses' behaviour and other builders that you may think is wrong? What I'm referring to here is what is often referred to as the prevailing wisdom. And that's something that's maybe common practice within the industry, but you don't necessarily agree with. So what are your ethics? What are your morals around the way you want to do business with your clients, your suppliers, and, you know, even your employees? So say builders giving preliminary pricing on a standard plan, you know, the client assumes that the final price they'll get is this preliminary pricing. And then once they pay their deposit and they do their fixed pricing, you know, they might be $100,000 over the initial preliminary pricing. You know, are you happy to go along with that? Or is that something that you want to say to your clients, look, I'm not like all the others. We give you fixed pricing straight up. So this is our process. Yes, we may appear, you know, more expensive compared to another builder initially, but if you go through the whole process or ask those builders, is this my final price? Or what's the process to get my final price that I'll pay to build this home? You know, you might want to be able to portray that to your clients. Like I was talking about putting on a supervisor, and that's the answer to all your issues. But is it? Is that really the answer? By defining this statement, it'll help you, I guess, start to claw your business out of the depths of the craziness from that growth phase. And another thing you need to do is tighten up, is it the market that you sell into? And I've spoken about this before, where I've described it as what level of Westfields are you going to be located on? Are you going to be on the lower level with the dollar discount volume stores? The ones that just become a commodity. They're fighting for clients by having the lowest prices. This may be where you've currently been sitting in the growth phase. You know, you may have just been pricing to get work, to get a name, to make a wage, but you're starting to realize you need to make more profit and you increase, I guess, your overheads bill is increasing. You know, you might have put on a supervisor, you might have put on an admin person. So you're starting to realize I'm not pricing correctly and I need to tighten up on these things to keep my business going. So yeah, you've been building it up, you've been taking on all the work you can get your hands on. You know, is that what you want to strive towards? Or do you want to strive towards the higher levels where the likes of Sass and Buy would be located at Westfields and hanging out with them and taking yourself out of that race for the bottom market, taking yourself out of, you know, competing on price constantly with other builders within your area? So how do you get your business to that next level? I expand on the ways to do this in my program, Build Up to Nail Down. And I previously spoke about the prevailing wisdom of putting on a supervisor. Finding ways to make your business more efficient and reducing your overheads in a small business is one of the keys to increasing your profits in your business. In, I guess, today's tech environment, there are tools out there that can help you scale your business without adding in as many expensive overheads, such as maybe a supervisor. I've spoken about programs like Builders Trend and Co-Construct as a program that can really help you tighten up not only your overheads in your business, but it also gives you the ability to have more predictable progression when scheduling all of your works in progress. Tightening up your schedule will not only save you time, stress and money, but will also give you more clarity as to where your projects are heading and will make you more organised as well. Another way to help make your business more profitable is by learning how my triple jump technique can give you more money and makes working in your business more rewarding. This technique teaches 3 ways to increase the money coming into your business. So most builders only focus on one way of bringing money into their business. Typically, builders get their money once they've signed a contract, and most don't want anything to be changed at that point, and generally most hate variations to the original scope of work. But one year I added $250,000 to my business through variations. And yes, they are a pain in the neck. You know, you might have to update plans, you've got to get things signed off, you've got to order more things, you've got to make sure everyone's got a copy of the new plan that's got the variation details on it. But this additional income into my business saved me money on having to not find one additional client for that year. So finding more clients costs us money. You know, you have to spend money on marketing. You spend time trying to convince someone else to work with you. You're potentially doing fees You're potentially doing free quotes, site visits, like all that time that you spend negotiating and trying to convince someone to work with you, you don't have to do that as much. So therefore, by tightening up the efficiency of my business and reducing my overheads and making my business an asset, it gave me the ability to bring in more profits. So reducing the stress I was experiencing through that growth phase and it basically saved our business money. So if you want to learn the technique to tighten down the efficiency in your business, make sure you keep an eye out for my Build Up to Nail program that is for builders moving from the growth phase. So moving from that crazy growth phase where you are just taking on clients, whatever clients you can get your hands on, whatever projects you can get your hands on, and then taking you to the secure phase where you start to, secure your business and to, I guess, get in a place where you aren't stressed, you're profiting like you should be for all the risks that you take in your business. So this will be released in the very near future. Until next time, and I can see Larissa there, how you going? Until next week, where I'll talk about securing the systems and processes in your business and the rewards that it can bring to you. So keep powering your business, and we'll see you then.